Welcome to the second Young Gun of Wine Vineyard of the Year Awards, streaming to you live from downtown St Kilda here in Melbourne, the land of the Wurundjeri people on Naarm. It's fantastic to be back after a year away, or was it 15 years? I can't remember. The whole pandemic lockdown thing has just played havoc with my sense of time. I'm sure it has for you too. Thanks for joining us. I'm looking forward to handing out the next batch of awards here. And before I do, I just wanted to take you through the process of how we got to this point. So what we did is we invited vineyard owners, growers from around the country to enter the awards, to send an entry in outlining everything they do in the vineyard, all the work that they put in to ensuring sustainability of what they do, to promote quality and terroir expression in the wines that they make, and also to include as much information as they can as to where their vineyards sit in the wider scheme of things. So once all those entries had come in, a panel of judges convened to assess those entries, to narrow that down to the top 50 vineyards which have been promoted through Young Gun of Wine over the last few weeks. For me, this is the high point of the whole process, if you like, because it's uncovering, it's discovering, it's coming across, being reacquainted with those 50 vineyards across the country. That is, I find the most exciting bit, because it really reminds you of the great work that is being done in these vineyards, from Queensland through to Western Australia, from South Australia through to Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales. It's a really great process. And then comes the difficult bit. Now we have to kind of decide the 4 award winners. The Young Vineyard of the Year, a vineyard that is 10 years old or less at the point of entry. Old Vineyard of the Year, Groundbreaker of the Year, and Vineyard of the Year, which is given to the kind of best all-round entry that we receive. And to do this, we identify a number of vineyards that are then inspected by qualified viticultural consultants, viticulturists, to kind of ground truth what the entry has told us about that vineyard. So I'd really like to thank my fellow panel members who were involved in this judging process. Lee Hazelgrove, who's the viticulturist at Swinney Vineyard, which was last year's Vineyard of the Year. Dr. Kath Kidman, Dr. Mary Retallick, and Mark Walpole, who are all leading figures in the viticultural world in Australia. I'd also like to thank the Vineyard Inspectors, Reese Fitzgerald, Kelly Graham, Liz Riley, Nigel Squire, John Whiting, and Michael Zirk, all of whom went out and walked the land in each of these vineyards, talked to the growers, and ensured that we were able to, as panel members on the judging process, that we were able to then confirm that each of those vineyards was doing what the grower said they were doing. Then we got back together and we discussed again between us which of these 4 awards we were going to give to the most worthy recipients. It's a pretty involved and time-consuming process, but I think it's one that really is the best way of establishing remotely, because we can't all visit all the vineyards and certainly couldn't have done that over the last year or so, which are the most deserving winners of these awards. So the awards themselves, as you can see in front of me here, are 4 awards that, when put together like this, evoke a soil profile, if you like, that runs underneath the vines. When they are put together like this at this time of year, they have that soil profile, but then when they're wrenched apart, if you like, and given out individually, they also stand alone as a beautiful piece of very heavy, shiny metal that gets thumbprints on it. I'm not even going to touch it yet. One of the great things, as I said, about doing this process for me is coming across vineyards I've never heard of before, growers I've never heard of before, practices that are being employed in the vineyard that I've never heard of before. And again, this year, as with the last year, we had entries from New England to southern Tasmania. We had entries from the Hunter Valley all the way across to Margaret River. We had old vineyards being carefully looked after, maintained, revitalised in some cases. We had vineyards that are brand new. We had vineyards that are incredibly well known, and we had vineyards that none of the judging panel had heard of before. So it was a fantastic opportunity to discover those new names. I've said it before, I said it about last year's award, I will say it again here. You really must take the time to look through that list of 50, to read the profiles of all 50 finalists, because it gives you, I find, a very inspiring and exciting picture of what is happening in Australian viticulture right now. It's in a pretty good place, I think. There's always room for improvement. There's a lot of people talking, when we went through those entries, there's a lot of people talking about organics, and a few people crossing the line into being committed to full organic viticulture and certification. But there's still a few people kind of talking about it and not crossing that line. Even though sustainability is a pillar of these awards, that doesn't mean that we only expected organic, biodynamic, regenerative viticulture. We also were very impressed by vineyards that were run according to best practice, what you perhaps would call conventional viticulture. But it was in a holistic approach to managing those vineyards that it was appropriate. So one of the other things that we also felt as a judging panel is that we came across vineyards where we knew there was some fantastic stuff being done, but the entry itself wasn't full enough. And we felt that if that entry had been filled in with more detail, that perhaps that vineyard would have had a better chance. We also felt that there were some vineyards that were definitely on the right track, but in another couple of years would be in a position to perhaps be a contender for these awards. So this is very much a work in progress. It's a way of identifying the impressive and inspiring vineyards across the country in an attempt to both encourage other vineyards to perhaps head down this path, but also to link the wine drinker, the consumer, to the land and the people who work that land, rather than talk about what's in the bottle all the time or how the wine has been made, both of which very important, but to really kind of then take that conversation back to the country that those wines are grown on. What I also really loved, again, about this process was coming across vineyards, not coming across vineyards, there were a number of vineyards who entered these awards this year who've made it into the top 50 finalists, who don't have a wine label of their own, but are great growers who sell to established wine labels. It's these growers also that I think we want to identify and promote and link, make connections between them and the consumers, because I think the consumers often feel that the winemakers are the people who make the wines, but of course, without the great growers behind them, there are no wines in the first place. So, I think we should go for some messages from our very important sponsors before we start to very gingerly hand out these awards.
It's quite an achievement to be picked out of 6,000 growers across Australia, and Netafim is thrilled to be a part of this because sustainability is at our core, and we're about helping growers to grow more with less, and sustainability, of course, is a key factor in determining this year's finalists. Thank you to Rory and all the organisers for this auspicious occasion, and we wish you all the best of luck and congratulations once again.
Hi, I'm Dan Dixon, the Marketing Director for Corteva Agriscience, Australia and New Zealand. On behalf of our entire team, I congratulate the 50 finalists of the 2021 Young Gun of Wine's Vineyard of the Year Award. These finalists have demonstrated their enormous passion and abilities cultivating healthy crops and the finest quality grapes to produce world-class wines. They lead our industry in adopting sustainable practices that will positively impact their local communities and our environment, ensuring a bright future for Australian viticulture. Corteva is proud to sponsor this award as one of the many ways we show our support for the viticulture industry and their holistic approach to grape growing throughout Australia. Our viticulture portfolio, including brands such as Coastside Opti, Delegate, Prodigy, Talendo and Michaelos, is leading our move towards softer, more targeted chemistries and the sustainability of the industry. We are honoured to celebrate these wonderful finalists with you. I wish all of you the best of success in this program and for the seasons to come.
Hello, my name is Dominic Cavallaro of Stoller Australia, and we're proud sponsors of the Young Gun of Wine Awards. As a company, we'd like to congratulate the nominees and winners of the award, this award epitomises our values of innovation and people. So we're proud to be involved with the organisation and recognise young successful people in the wine industry. And Stoller's technology gives the advantages to achieve premium quality wine, both for the export market and domestic market. So congratulations and all the best for the future.
Roundwood Solutions are proud sponsors of the Young Gun of Wine Awards. We believe our new improved creosote posts are part of the future of the viticultural industry because of their user friendliness, the OH&S benefits, they're carbon neutral, and we can recycle them at their end of life or when they're broken through harvest. Our posts are carbon neutral as certified by Climate Active. We believe that they will be the benchmark of trellis formation going forward. We would like to congratulate the 50 finalists of the Young Gun Awards. With more than 6,000 grape growers across Australia, it's a huge accolade to be a potential winner of these awards. Your energy and enthusiasm for what you do is commendable as you all forge the future of the Australian wine industry.
There we go. Thank you, sponsors, without whom none of this would be possible. Okay, so you're going to have to bear with me now because this is a bit of a technical, well, what is it? It's a very ambitious technical thing that we're about to do right now. As you can imagine, we will be handing out awards live in front of you from various places around the country. The first award that we'll be handing out is for New Vineyard of the Year. What's going to happen is that I'm going to cross in a second to Will Campbell from Nutrien Ag Solutions, who is at a mystery location, and he has the trophy with him. This is a dummy I've got here, the stunt trophy, and he will be handing it to the winner of the New Vineyard of the Year awards. Now, the New Vineyard of the Year, why do we want to do that? Well, you know, old vineyards get all the kudos in Australia, but of course, most of the wine industry here is 20 years old or younger. So we thought it was worthwhile asking for entrants, and what we were looking for is very impressive new vineyards that really kind of, burst out of the blocks and win awards, or the highly acclaimed wines come from these young vineyards. It's all about the future. It's all about potential. It's all about encouraging people to kind of do things differently or head into new territory with their vineyards. So before we do give out that award, I'm going to hopefully cross to Will Campbell in a mystery location. Will, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, mate, got you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I can only just hear you, but I think we're going to be okay. We're going to muddle through. Have you got the trophy with you?
Yeah, I do. It's all wrapped up safely, so yeah, looking forward to giving it out.
So it doesn't get covered in thumbprints.
That's it.
Excellent. Okay, I'll see you soon, and I will now go to hopefully the winners, and you will creep up on them and give them the trophy. That's the plan, yeah?
I'll go and surprise them. Yeah, that'll be good.
Excellent. Let's do it. Thank you very much. See you in a minute. Okay, so now's the time for the first trophy winner for New Vineyard of the Year, and it goes to Mewstone Vineyard in Tasmania. And hopefully, joining us right now are Luke, Andre and Johnny Hughes from Mewstone. There they are.
Hello. Howdy.
I'm still new to this whole internet thing, and it still gives me a big buzz. Oh, was that the doorbell?
We can watch the car drive in the driveway.
Oh, did you? Is that what you've heard? You've heard. I can only just hear you, so you might have to. And that's my problem.
No, that's probably our problem.
It's not your problem. It's just quiet this end. But if you can just, pretend you're on stage at your high school performance again.
Get a bit closer. We've just watched Will drive in and he's walking around trying to look for us, I think.
Well, hopefully he'll find you before. So tell us what I can see behind you there.
What's going on with Fro? Good time for the internet to drop out.
No, we can see you. I can hear you.
Yeah, we've still got it. It's a bit dodgy, I've got to say. The connections are not superb. Oh,
it's working right now. It's all good. Tell us what we can see behind you.
So that is now some of the new vines that went in last year. In 2017. So full harvest this year for the first time. Those little Riesling vines. And you're looking across the Bruny Island as well. Bruny Island in the background on the Don Tricasto channel.
It's almost as though you knew we were going to be throwing to you, and you set yourself up for the most beautiful view of the vineyard.
We thought that was important.
So tell us how old the vineyard. So this is the first crop off these younger vines. Tell us. Oh, here we go. I'm going to let Will do his business.
Well,
congratulations on behalf of the Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well done. Beautiful spot down here and picturesque. So it's obviously very random coming down here and meeting you guys, but you've got a beautiful spot down here and you've done really well. So yeah, congratulations to both of you on behalf. I haven't got any fingerprints on there, so she's carefully wrapped up.
Cheers. Awesome. Nice. It's unveiled. Very well wrapped up. It's a bit of leather. Fancy.
No, mate. That's all yours.
There we go.
There it is.
Get a piece of it. Yeah. There we go.
So I don't know whether you can still hear me there. I don't know whether there's the family behind the screen there are all cheering and popping corks. But I just want, if we can just briefly, just tell us what this means, because Mewstone's obviously no stranger to accolades. You've won awards before for the wines, but this is really an award for what goes on in the vineyard. Tell us about the vineyard and what this means to you in terms of rewarding the effort that you've put in.
I guess, as you said, the wines are no stranger to accolade, but this really goes to show that what we're doing out on the farm is really paying dividends in terms of the quality of the fruit and in turn the quality of the wine. We are very lucky down here that we're on such a small site that we get to hand tend every single wine. So I think it's whether it's well deserved, I think it is, but we are so proud of the work we do out here, and so happy that it's been rewarded.
And how's the season looking so far? It looks a bit gloomy right now, but has it been all right for you down there?
It's been a very gloomy weekend. If you talk to anyone from Tassie, I think you'll hear the same response in that it's been a pretty challenging season so far. As you can see, we're only 4 hectares down here, so we have to net. We're not one of the vineyards that don't net, so we haven't actually started netting yet. We're just hitting veraison now, so we've still got a long time to go in this journey. And I know plenty of mates around Australia and plenty on this screen, and hello to all of you. You're in the thick of harvest, but we've still got a couple of weeks, potentially months to go until we even see some grapes. So it's been a challenge, but we've still got challenges ahead of us down here.
Beauty. All right. Well, look, it's great to, if not be there in person, then at least be there through the screen.
Thanks, Max.
Thank you.
Thank you both, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening celebrating with a glass of Riesling from those vines behind you, or is that first crop this year?
Got local brew to celebrate with.
Carbonated, unfiltered Riesling.
Maybe later.
Thank you. Okay. Wow, we're running through it. Next up in the awards agenda, it's just like the Logies or something here, isn't it? Or without the music or the frocks. If we've done new Vineyard of the Year down there on the D'Entrecasteaux channel, looking out across Bruny Island, where is the old Vineyard of the Year award going to take us? This is no-brainer really as to why we should have an old Vineyard of the Year award in the Vineyard of the Year awards. Australia is renowned for having some of the oldest still producing vines. Certainly in the Southern Hemisphere, there are very ancient vines around the world in little pockets, but Australia has an embarrassment of riches when it comes to beautiful vineyards planted in the early 20th or mid to late 19th centuries. So we figured it was absolutely worth recognising the efforts that go into keeping those vineyards alive, but not just alive, but still producing beautiful wine year after year. So to present this award, we have Cam Clifford from the AME Group, who is in a mystery location. Cam, are you there? Hopefully this will work. Cam's hiding in his car. Are you all set to go? You got the award?
Yeah, good to go. In hand.
Beauty. Okay. Well, thank you very much for AME Group's support in these awards. And do we have somebody who's going to say why they're supporting? No? You're going to say it. You're going to tell us about why you're supporting the award.
AME Group, so we are well known in the viticulture industry for supplying innovative mechanical solutions for viticulture industry. We're very proud to support the Vineyard of the Year award, and indeed every viticulturalist, every vineyard manager, every vineyard company out there that's striving to produce the best fruit. It's the same as we do in our business to produce the innovative solutions. We take different paths to the norm, you might say, to arrive at the best end. So very proud to be presenting this award today.
Beauty, thank you very much. And you're ready to rush out of that car and across to wherever it is that you're going to be presenting the award.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, we'll come back to you in a couple of minutes. Well, we'll see you on screen in a couple of minutes.
All right.
Oh, we have live action driving shot. I wasn't ready for that. And of course, the observant viticulturist will have noticed perhaps the kind of trees that are behind these people when they do their reports from the car. So perhaps they're ready for this announcement, or perhaps not. The winner of the 2021 Old Vineyard of the Year award is Henschke Hill of Grace. And there's Prue Henschke being suitably surprised.
No.
Hi, Prue.
Hi. Hi there. The dog didn't bark.
Not yet.
Does the dog normally bark when Henschke win an award? Is that what normally happens?
Oh, no, when anybody comes. You see, this is our little alarm bell.
Well, hopefully Cam's at the right place. Maybe he parked right down the end of the driveway just so that you wouldn't see.
I think so, because I recognise the tree sort of, but yeah, he's about, I can see somebody.
Oh, here we go. He's on his way. So, I mean, this really is like, an awards night in that you get to say, Henschke needs no introduction, but just for those few people who don't know about Hill of Grace, maybe tell us about why this vineyard is so special.
It is special because it's one of the real survivors. I mean, we don't really know how old the vineyard is. We just use a church record. So the church that was actually built across from their old grandfathers, we know was constructed in 1860. So we use that date to verify its planting. But I think, and I guess the generations after have really looked after that vineyard, and that's why it survived. And it's still producing. I mean, it could easily produce over 5-10 kilos per vine, but I'm not allowed to do that.
That's good. Look behind you.
Hello. Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
I didn't really. Wow. So you must have been at the front gate.
I was.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Look at that.
It's very beautiful. Oh, thanks, guys.
You came all the way out here.
That is, yeah, we're a long way out. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers.
There we are. Put up.
So the dog did start barking after a while. I did hear it in the background.
Yes.
Prue, just take us through a couple of the things that you're doing to keep those old vines alive, because I know, I've been to the vineyard a few times over the years and walked through. Actually, no. Tell us what you're going to do next, because I'm sure you're always thinking of new things to do in that vineyard to keep quality up, to keep optimum yields.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things.
What's next?
We've done mulching, we've done retrellising, we've done, what else have we done? I think the pruning method's the thing that's changing at the moment. We're using the Simonette and Search method to try and preserve those old vines. And when those guys came, they looked at one particular vine and they said, that's it. That's the branching. So obviously it's an old tradition, an old pruning tradition that's been rediscovered. And I think that's going to really help us continue with that vineyard.
That's the perfect answer. I think that absolutely sums up, what we're looking for in this country is adopting new techniques, and very often finding that they're ancient techniques that are have filtered back to modern consciousness, if you like. So, and that's very appropriate, the Hill of Grace.
Yeah, that's dead right.
We need to move on to the next award. I'm going to let you open a bottle of Hill of Grace for Cam there, although it looks quite white.
There we are.
That Hill of Grace. Is that? Oh, there, you've got it. And I'm sure you will share a couple of glasses. Thank you very much. Well done, everybody. It's going swimmingly so far. Thank you. Well, here we go. Now, one of my favourite awards, they're all my favourite award, but I really like this award because it's often leads to some of the most interesting conversations between the judges. This is the Groundbreaker Award. Now, with this award, we are looking to recognise people who are thinking, they're taking a little jump to the left from mainstream viticulture, perhaps, and thinking about doing things differently, thinking about introducing some of those new techniques I talked about before, or perhaps reintroducing ancient techniques. So we're looking for vineyards that, are, doing something really fascinating with pruning, or they're looking at planting new grape varieties, perhaps grape varieties that nobody's planted before. And there was some, again, go back to that top 50, just work your way through those profiles. You will see so many examples of groundbreaking activity. But we wanted to give the award to the vineyard that really perhaps pushes things a little bit further than everybody else, or is even more single-minded about the pursuit of quality. And to present this award in a mystery location, we have Lee Siata from AME Group. Hopefully I pronounced Lee's name right. Is that right, Lee?
Well, you got the first bit right, Max, but don't worry about the last bit.
Yeah, you're used to saying that, aren't you? I'm not the first person to get that wrong. Yeah.
It's all right, Max. It's all right. It's not about me
All
today.
right, we're all good. And you have the award. You're in position.
The award? What award?
Damn,
yes, I got
you knew there was something you forgot.
Yeah, you know.
All right, have they twigged to you yet? Do you know, do they know where you're about to arrive? Hopefully not.
Well, I hope not. It's not exactly a anywhere you can really hide from them, so I'll have to get my ass moving quickly.
All right, well, I'll let you go and do that. Get your ass into gear, and we'll see you again bursting in on somebody like some bizarre sitcom any minute. All right, so the award for Vineyard of the Year Groundbreaker goes to Alkena Vineyard in the Barossa Valley. Aha! Now we're getting in. This is getting interesting because we've got two different people on screen here. We have Amelia Nolan and Johnny Schuster. Why aren't you in the same place? Where are you?
Well, I'm here at Alkena in the Barossa Valley, and Amelia is in sunny Hobart at the moment.
Hi, Max. Yes,
hello,
someone's
Amelia. What are you doing in Hobart?
Well, just mixing things up a bit. You know, they need some fine South Australian wine down here, so just thought we'd splash a bit around.
So you're on a sales trip, you're selling wine. So there's no rest for the winemakers these days, are there?
That's right, yes.
Isn't
yes,
it vintage?
we're a small team, so we have to do a bit of
crushing grapes
everything.
or something, or have you left that all to Johnny?
Well, we've had 2 inches of rain today, so that's put a bit of a hold on things. A little bit disappointing, but you know, that's what we deal with. That's weather and nature.
Tell us about, so one of the things that really made Alkena stand out for us is this incredible detailed approach to identifying micro terroir. Tell us about the Polygon project.
Okay, yes, sure. So back in 2017, we were lucky enough to be introduced to Pedro Parra, who is an extraordinary guy and from Chile with a PhD in terroir viticole, which basically means he understands agricultural mapping, but also geology, and then also he's spent years making wine from geological parcels and tasting them. So he has a very deep and detailed understanding of the structure and flavour and personality imparted by limestone versus schist versus granite in a way that no one I've ever met has got that knowledge. And he came out and started mapping our property with some electroconductivity scanning to start with, and then looking at the soils, the soil pits that we put in, around 160 over time, and then mapped it into tiny geological parcels, which we then made as wines, some of them only around 500 litres, from the same, within the same blocks. And with the Grenache in particular, the results have been really fascinating.
And as I said, it's that attention to detail, that uncompromising attention to detail that really made the judges sit up and take notice. Obviously, also following through to quality in the glass. But doesn't it make Johnny's job, everybody's job, really a bit of a nightmare, having to make all those tiny little parcels?
Yes, it does make Johnny's job a nightmare. But after doing it for about 6 years, he is coming to terms with the nightmare, I think. Let's just say there's a lot of pink tape that Johnny has to put around our vineyard to section off the separate areas, and a lot of work in trying to explain to our hand pickers why we're doing what we're doing. But it does seem a bit mad, but the results are astounding and exciting for us, and I think over time for consumers and drinkers.
And hopefully, Johnny, have you heard any doorbells or anything yet?
There's a gentleman standing right beside me that.
Now we have the time. There he is.
Unexpected, but a great honour, and thank you on behalf of the whole panel, all the judges, and all the other contestants as well. So yeah, amazing.
You got fingerprints on it.
Fingerprints galore.
Fingerprints galore. That could be the tagline for next year's awards, I reckon. That's beautiful. Okay, well, thank you both again so much for being there. It was great that we could do a trans-Tasman, trans-Bass Strait, what are we calling it? Hookup. I think it is worth just mentioning, though, at this stage, that do you feel that there is a growing trend towards more vineyard recognition like this, an acknowledgement of the reality of terroir differences in Australia?
I think it is, Max. And I do think that what you're doing with this award is very important, and it's really shining a light on the importance of vineyards. And for us, without our vineyard, we have nothing. It is everything to us, and our job is simply to translate the personality of the vineyard to the end drinker. And everything that Johnny's been doing for these last few years, and all the work that we've put in, I think is really paying off. And it's just inspiring and amazing to see the response and the growing interest in vineyards from people in the trade, press, and consumers. It's so important to us.
Beauty, thank you very much. On that note, we'll leave you to celebrate the win, and we'll move on to the last award of the evening. Thanks. I feel like I'm hemmed in by things I can't touch. So, before we go to the last award for the evening, we'd like to thank again the sponsors for the event: AME Group, Corteva, Netafim, Nutrien Ag Solutions, Roundwood Solutions, Stoller, and Wine Guns for Hire. I thought that said Wine Gums for Hire for a minute there. It's probably just I'm hungry. And we'd also like now to play some quick messages from friends of the Vineyard of the Year Awards.
Hi, I'm Shantae Whale from Key and Over a Glass Pod. Congratulations to the 50 nominated finalists for Vineyard of the Year Award. What an incredible honour to be part of those awards. We all know that the vineyard is where the magic happens. I want to say thank you for those of you that have been farming sustainably and looking after our Australian land for the future generations. From all sommeliers, thank you so much and congratulations. It's such an honour for us to look after your wines and share them with our guests on the floor. Well done.
Hey guys, it's Daz here. Just want to say a huge congratulations to each and every one of you that have made it into the top 50 Vineyard of the Year Awards for Young Gun of Wine. And also, thanks for doing what you do out in the vineyard with regards to pushing biodiversity, innovation, sustainability, and creating a pretty solid platform and foundation for ultimately kick-ass wines. So massive respect. Keep doing what you do, and huge congrats from me, the chefs, and all us hospo lot. Cheers.
Congratulations to all the finalists of the Vineyard of the Year Awards. Well done to every one of you, especially those who planted Pinot Noir. As one on the receiving end of all your perspiration, dedication and inspiration, I'd also just like to say thank you. Love your work.
Hello, Peter Gago, Penfold's chief winemaker in situ at the McGill Estate Vineyard just outside of Adelaide. This is where it all started for us 178 years ago, and in about a week we'll be picking this material. But that's not what this is about. This is to congratulate the 50 finalists of the 2021 Vineyard of the Year Awards. What an achievement to be one of the 50. What a greater achievement to actually win it. So we're waiting for that result. We can't wait long enough. And in the interim, we'll probably have a little thing called Harvest happening here. Good luck to you all.
Congratulations to the top 50 finalists of the 2021 Vineyard of the Year. There's a lot of fanfare around winemakers, but I know that the true stars of wine are the grapes and the folk that grow them. Wines are an expression of what happens in the vineyard throughout the whole year, and we couldn't have great wines without great vineyards and thoughtful places of Australia grown with care and attention. So thank you and good luck.
G'day everyone, Nick Ryan from The Australian here, coming to you from a Clare Valley on the cusp of harvest. Just wanting to congratulate everyone involved in this year's Young Gun of Wine Vineyard of the Year Awards, for all of you associated with the top 50 vineyards, to those that are nominated and take out the top awards. As a member of the least vital member of the of the wine community, the wine writers, I want to say to you, the most vital people in the winemaking community, those that grow it, your efforts are recognised, your achievements are celebrated, and your wines are just cherished. So congratulations everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic night and celebrate success in the best way possible.
Nice to see my country cousin out there in Clare. Who says there's no diversity in Australian wine journalism? Anyway, moving on to the final award, the Vineyard of the Year. We're going to cross to Rhys Fitzgerald from Nutrien Ag Solutions in a mystery location, hopefully, because I believe Rhys's connection is a little bit patchy. Rhys, are you there?
Got you, Max.
Oh, I'm good. How are you? I can just hear you, so we'll soldier on. Thank you for Nutrien's support.
Let's go for it.
Tell us what these awards mean to Nutrien, if you can.
Well, we see virtually every aspect of the viticultural program, so we understand on an intrinsic level what everyone goes through on a day-to-day basis, and the effort and the perseverance, the dedication, the resilience that goes into creating a really, really good block of fruit that goes to the winemakers that work their magic in the winery. So we're just here to assist with that, and we just want to make sure that we can facilitate the excellence that we currently see before us today and ongoing into the future for the next generations.
Beautiful. We got through that. I heard every word. You were a bit jumpy on the screen, but we heard every word, which is the important thing. And so you've got the trophy. You're ready to burst in on the recipient?
Absolutely. I'll get going now.
Beautiful. Okay, we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Right. Here we go, the pointy end. The Vineyard of the Year Award, again, this was the most heated discussion among the panel members, the judges, because there are so many vineyards in that top 50 that could potentially get this. What pushed this vineyard over the line, and it was as I say, a really kind of impassioned discussion, because there were so many worthy recipients. What pushed this vineyard over the line is the holistic approach. So it wasn't one particular aspect of what this grower, what these people do on this vineyard. It was the complete package as a representation of just a benchmark for viticulture in Australia, from the way the soil is managed through to the quality of the wine in the glass, through all the other aspects that are involved in running a vineyard, ensuring biodiversity, looking after the vines themselves, ensuring a healthy, commercially viable crop, connecting to community, and having a social outlook on where that vineyard sits in a broader context. So for all those reasons, the Vineyard of the Year award goes to, in 2021, Eden Hall in the Eden Valley. And there, looking suitably chuffed, is Dan Falkenberg. G'day, Dan.
Oh, g'day, Max. How are you?
Oh, look, I'm pretty good. How are you? Shouldn't you? You've probably taken a break from doing something important in the vineyard to be with us this evening.
Yeah, I guess. Well, we've had 35 mils of rain here today, so my backyard is an absolute wash here. But yeah, so I didn't actually spend too much time in the vineyard today. It's cleaning up around the house, unfortunately.
Apart from that, are you looking forward to a good season this year? The rest of the run up to it has been okay, or has it come with challenges?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, there's a knock at the door. I think.
Would you better go and answer it then? I tell everybody about Eden
hang
Hall
on,
Vineyard.
back in a minute.
How are you?
G'day, Reece.
So Eden Hall established only 15 years ago. Is that right? 1996? Is that 15 years ago or 25 years ago? You know, that pandemic time thing. 25 years ago, Eden Hall established on the site of an existing vineyard by David and Marty Hall. And Dan's been running it for a few years now. It's off-grid. I'm just padding for you, Dan. Off-grid. There's some fantastic work being done with native grasses, but I'm going to talk to Dan about that in a minute. Here you go. I think we should have the handing over of the award ceremony now.
Thank you very much, Reece. Much
Thoroughly
appreciated.
deserved. That was extremely impressive. I was lucky enough to get to see Eden Hall in person and was so thoroughly impressed. I think everyone that's been out to have a look at the program that Dan runs would concur that it's one of the most impressive things that we've seen in the viticultural industry. Completely off-grid. The challenges that they go through in the Eden Valley, it's an amazing achievement and a lifetime achievement for Dan. Like, he's dedicated himself to this industry, and this is just rewards for someone that has put through all the hard yards. So, Dan, congratulations.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Like the other contestants, there's certainly huge amount of fingerprints over this too at the moment, but it's going to sit proud on the mantelpiece, that's for certain.
I think a huge amount of fingerprints over the award, both physically and metaphorically. I mean, it's teamwork. You know that you're accepting it, but there's a lot of people that go into running this vineyard. So tell us some other things about it, because tell us about the native grasses, because I find this particularly fascinating. The research that's been done with native grasses and permanent swards in the vineyard.
Yeah, I guess I've been involved with establishing native grasses for about 15 years now, and it's something that's been evolving over the years. And to this point, I guess now it's been a lot of trial and error, a lot of failures along the way, but that's how we learn. So I guess sort of we've got to this point now where within the vineyard that we've got about 7 hectares under native grass now, and we're just finding that over time that the vineyard is responding better in terms of changes, climatic changes, and the things that are against us a bit at Eden Valley. And there's a lot against us out there, but we're working with nature, certainly, and not against it. And I think it's certainly paying dividends. That's for sure.
Well, paying dividends too in terms of wine quality. I believe Eden Hall picked up a few trophies and accolades in the last couple of years. Is that right for the wines?
Yeah, absolutely. Our Rieslings certainly have been a star, winning some wines at the awards. At the Barossa Wine Show. Also, single vineyard award wines with our Riesling, and we really pride ourselves on the fruit that we grow out there. And I guess too, really, that to pull all this together really is about the whole team. It's David and Marty Hall, Graham Threadgold, Linda Falkenberg, all of the team that are out there doing the hard yards to make this all work together. And really, that's the crux of it. Teamwork, and everyone's on the same page with what we do.
And one of the other aspects that really impressed the judges is even though you're off grid and you're in the Eden Valley, which has a certain separation from the rest of the Barossa, you're very much involved in connecting to the wider community. So you sell to a number of winemakers, sell fruit to a number of winemakers, and you're also encouraging people to come learn from what you do. Tell us about some of those connections with community and open days and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very open with sharing information about what we do, and I think that's the good thing about the wine industry. It's very resourceful and very collaborative, and I find that sharing that information, I get a lot out of it as well. But also from grassroots, working with the high school, and then also with the AWRI, I guess, in terms of things with their advanced viticulture courses, do a lot of talks as well on sustainability and biodiversity. And I want to share the story that we have made and produced at Eden Hall, and it is quite a unique story, and it is different.
Well, I've got a little taste left of the 2020 Reserve Riesling here in my glass. So here's a toast to you. Well done for winning Vineyard of the Year in 2021. And I'm sure you'll have probably a glass of Riesling or two later on this evening. Thank you very much, Dan.
Thank you. I have a glass of Riesling as well. So same vintage.
There you go. Funny that. Well done.
Thank you very much, Max. Much appreciated.
Thank you. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's proceedings. Hopefully, a little bit of extra entertainment has been the reflection of Rory Kent and his dog in the awards here. That might have accounted for some of the tail wagging and the ear flapping. And the dog's been quite noisy too. So what we've learnt from this year's Vineyard of the Year Awards is that there's some fantastic things going on in the vineyards across Australia. There's some really inspiring stuff. As I said at the end of that interview with Dan there, one of the most inspiring things I find is this sense of community and connection that we find in the best vineyards. They're not just people doing things on their own on a hillside somewhere and just beavering away and making beautiful wine. They're people who are very plugged in to their community and are sharing information and really fostering this sense that we're all in it together. I know this is all, slightly cliched after the last 2 years we've been in, but that's really what really came out of going through those top 50 vineyards that I would like to congratulate all of the finalists. I would like to congratulate everybody involved in bringing this and thank everybody involved in bringing this presentation together, because I'm still amazed that these things actually work and that they go live and you can hear what I'm saying and I can hear what everybody else is saying. Thank you very much to everybody watching. Thank you for joining us, and see you next year for the 2022 Vineyard of the Year Awards. Cheers.